Hi guys, a really warm welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking all about the bad money habits that you might be doing that you need to ditch. You need to keep them in 2022 and move forwards with some really good, healthy financial well-being habits that are going to help you get out of debt, pay for that house, pay for that holiday, save for something that you're saving for, whatever your financial goals may be. And let's be honest, our financial history, well-being story is all going to be different, but these are some actionable tips that you can take into 2023 to help build your financial well-being and your financial goals if you're aiming for something, and just help you with some better money habits. So I really hope this video is helpful. If you're new here, I'm Lara. I'd love to have you here as a community subscriber. On this channel, I share loads of videos all about how to live your best life on a budget, whether that's how to save money, how to make more money, whether it's home organization or whether it's travel and style. There's lots here on this channel, but with your financial well-being at the heart of it. So I really hope you'd like to subscribe to the channel. If you're not new, then thank you so much for being here again for another amazing year ahead. You guys make this channel happen. If it wasn't for you watching and engaging my videos, then obviously it wouldn't exist. So thank you for being here, being such a lovely community in the comments as well. And of course we have the Facebook group as well if you want to join that. It is Budget Best Life, and there are over 23 almost thousand people now all living their best life on a budget, and it's such a supportive community. So it's like an extension of this YouTube channel where we can kind of get to know each other a little bit more and help each other out. So I'd love to see there as well. It's free, of course, if you'd like to join that. Anyway, without further ado, grab yourself a cuppa, get cozy, and let's get into the video. Okay, we have 20 bad money habits that you might be doing. So I'm gonna whiz through them, grab a paper and some pen maybe, grab some paper and a pen maybe, and get some of these written down onto paper so that you can take them away and action them yourself. So I'm gonna whiz through them. I have written them down because otherwise I'm gonna get off-piste, and you know I love to chat with you guys. So let's start with number one, and that is not knowing your spending triggers. Now, I've spoken about this in the past, but this is so important because once you understand what's triggering your spending, and that's the mindless spending, you know, I'm talking about you're sat in bed at night and you're scrolling and you see something on Instagram and you want to go and buy it. That's the boredom spending where you're just like nothing to do, so you want to buy something. Or it could be that you're emotionally spending, that you're happy with something. Or of course, when you're sad, you can spend as well. Understanding these triggers can really help stop you in your tracks and be much more mindful about when you're buying things. So look at when you go to spend and think, is it because I'm bored? Is it because I'm sad? Is it because I'm happy? Is it because I'm trying to fill a void? You know, there's different reasons, and if you recognize that, then you have the power to stop it because you understand it and you can be much more mindful with that. Number two is spending more than you earn. It's absolutely simple. Of course, there's going to be the non-negotiables such as your rent, your mortgage, your electricity bill. Let's not talk about that one. There is a video on this channel about how to keep warm with saving money on your energy bill, but it's the non-negotiables that you obviously have to buy. But when we're talking about spending more than you earn, that's the things that you don't need to buy, the things that you just sort of mindlessly buy and actually you don't need. So think about your budget, and we have done budgeting here on this channel, and I'll probably do much more into the new year as well, because obviously if you are new here, you may not have seen them, and if you aren't new, then you may well just need a little recap, which some of this video will be as well. But do not spend more than you earn. It's as simple as that. Number three is not checking your credit report. This is so important. Years and years ago, probably 12 years ago, friends and I and Stu, we went on a holiday, and I had to take a credit card out to get the hire car. I'd never had a credit card before, and they tried to charge me something like 6 months after we got back, but I hadn't seen it because I then didn't use a credit card, and I only got it out for that reason. And it then went on my record because I didn't pay it. And then by the time I realized, I was like, this isn't something I've spent. So I tried to go into a sort of battle with them, and they sent me a massive document like that of Spanish. Like I couldn't even understand it. And they basically said that I owed this money, and I was in with the ombudsman and trying to get it back. And in the end, if I checked my credit report, I would have seen that. So that's like a tale not to do yourself. And this applies to lots of other things. You may well have bad debt from something that you don't even know you've done, that you've signed up to, maybe an ex-partner's got credit on something from your old address. It could be various different reasons. And also, of course, with credit rating, it really goes towards whether you can get a mortgage or whether you can get a phone contract. So it's just so important. And there are free credit reports out there. So don't go spending loads of money if you don't need to. Make sure you know exactly what's going on with your credit report. Okay, number 4 is not setting goals for your finances and where you want to see yourself in, say, a year or a week, 6 months, 5 years. What are your goals? You need to be setting these goals so you have them written down, because otherwise you're just sort of like flailing around. You don't really know what you're going for. Yes, you might want to buy a house, but what is the actionable plan that you're going to use to get to that point? Because you need to have these goals. And also, let's not forget, we need to celebrate these goals as well. So if you have done something really, really cool and you've managed to get to like your first rung of your savings tracker, and if you need free trackers, they are available on my website, larajoannajarvis.com. There's savings trackers, debt trackers, expenses trackers, there's Christmas planning sheets, there's all sorts on there. Let me know if you want any additional ones added to that as well, but they're all free, downloadable printables. But you need to be celebrating the good things as well, so don't forget to do that. So you need that in your financial plan. Number 5 is going overdrawn on your account. Do not do this. The fees are astronomical sometimes, and if you just manage the debt, yes, you may well need to go overdrawn to pay for a bill, but if you can manage that in advance and set up either a approved overdraft or an extra additional sort of level of credit that's going to help you get to that, so that you don't need to go into your overdraft, it's going to save you a lot of money. It's all about being organized and knowing exactly what's happening in your banks so that you're not going to go overdrawn and then spend loads of money having to pay that debt back. Okay, number 6, this is really important, and it's about lifestyle inflation. I've spoken about this before. It's where, say, you might get a pay rise. Great, well done. But then you want to get the bigger car. You want to get the bigger house. You want to get the more takeaways. You want to go out more. You want to get nicer clothes. This is basically you're going to still be at parity with what you're spending and what you're earning, because you earn more money, but then what you buy it gets more expensive, and then you earn more and what you buy gets more expensive. The idea is, if you do get the pay rise, great, let's put some of that money into savings so that you then are going more like this. So yes, you may well increase your house size. You may have children. You might want to buy a house that's going to fit the children in, or buy a more sensible car or a bigger car. But it's about increasing this and then actually meaning that it means nothing because you're spending exactly what you earn. Number 7, another important one, is keeping up with the Joneses. A lot of what people have, spoiler alert, is on credit. So if you are trying to get the car to match your neighbor or your best friend, and actually you're then getting into debt for that, tell me, is there really a point in that? Do you need to do that? If you are trying to keep up with other people, don't be fooled. Most of what they earn is probably on credit as well. So they are getting into debt to have the nicer car. And I understand you may well need a nicer car to be safer for your children. I get that. But do you need to keep getting a car on finance, or do you need to keep replacing it every 3 years? It's not necessary. And I follow a guy called Nate. He's brilliant. He does YouTube videos, and he just posted on Instagram his new car, and it's like a Jeep, probably 10 years old. And this guy's a millionaire, and he's buying like a £2,000 car, because you just don't need to keep up with the Joneses. If your financial goals and plans are like retire at 45 and buy extra property, what are the sacrifices you're going to make along the way to get there? Is it going to be that you really need this like really nice Tesla, which is going to reduce or increase the amount of time that you're going to take getting to your financial goals? Just think about what's actually important to you, and keeping up with the Joneses is not necessary. Number 8 is not looking for ways to increase your income. Now, whether that is through asking for a pay rise or taking on a new side hustle, and I have videos on this channel, of course, with lots of side hustles. In fact, I've got hundreds of side hustles on this channel, so just search Lara Joanna Jarvis side hustles, or there will be a playlist in the description bar for you guys. That's just a really good way of increasing your income, because you're getting new streams of revenue. Let's not forget 2020, guys. Lots of people lost their jobs and were relying on one income. So diversifying your income means that if one goes, you have other streams of income to keep you going. If you're enjoying this video, I'd really love it if you'd like to subscribe to the channel for more financial wellbeing videos like this. I'd really love to have you here in this community. Just hit the button there. Okay, next up is about being loyal to brands and not shopping around. Not switching banks, not changing the place that you buy your petrol from, not going to the same supermarket all the time. These are things, it's brand loyalty. They're not loyal to you. They may raise their prices, or change what tariff you're on without you even knowing about it. So don't be loyal to a brand because that is going to stop you from saving money. And it's a really good habit to get into shopping around, even, you know, switching your bank, getting the bonus when you switch, just these little changes. It's just about being on top of it and again, being mindful with your spending. 10 is about shopping your fridge, freezer, your cupboards. This is a great exercise to do at least once a month, where you basically go through your freezer and you just make a load of meals from all the stuff that you've frozen. And I can tell you, at this moment in time, I've got at least 3 packs of chicken in there, because we get to like the weekend and we're like, oh, we've got chicken in the fridge, it's gonna go out of date, we're not gonna be here at the weekend, let's just freeze it. And I do that all the time. And let me tell you, you can make so many meals out of things from your fridge freezer, you know, and your cupboards. You know I love a throw it all in pasta meal. You just throw it all in and it's just delicious. Put some cheese on the top. Yum. Last night I made a veggie curry and I just literally chucked in every veg I had with loads of different spices from the cupboard and a tin of tomatoes, and I had a lovely delicious meal. In fact, I batch cooked that, so that's in the freezer now for the next couple of weeks. So there's lots of ways to shop your cupboards and it will save you a fortune. It also stops you from then going to the shops and then buying more things that you don't need, because you've already got meals at home. So rather than going out to get some extra food, shop your cupboards, and then you're also not just saving, you're also saving on not buying the things that you don't need while you're at the shop. Next up is running all your errands on different days. So you might well pop out for petrol one day, you might pop out for some bread the next day, you might well pop to the shops to return something the next day. Combine these errands to one day. Not only are you saving time, which is money, you're also saving petrol, and you can actually be saving money as well, because each time you pop out, you might well just grab something extra that you don't need. So consolidate your errands run to be all on one day, and it will definitely save you money. Next is not having sinking funds. This is so important. And in fact, someone just commented on a video, I think my last video, saying, I've actually got myself in a bit of a rut where now I cannot spend money without feeling guilty, and as such I'm letting myself go a bit. This was her comment, and I basically explained that sinking funds can really help with that. And it is, I went through that when we were saving, sort of our turbo saving for the house at the end. I was like, I found it really hard. I documented this a lot. I found it so hard to go shopping once, and I still do, because I'm mindful with when I'm spending, but it's all about having it. What I explained to her is having your sinking fund is to say, I'm going to put £5 a week into this kitty, into this bank account, into this envelope, however you choose to do it. And at the end of 6 months, I've got enough to go on a little shopping spree to get myself some clothes, or to get my hair done, or to get my nails done. There's going to be little treats in there. And that's so healthy for your well-being, to have these treats in there and to be able to shop guilt-free. That's the key thing, guilt-free spending. And when you're saving for something, it can be very difficult to allow yourself those treats. So sinking funds are a brilliant way of doing that. And let me know if you want an updated video on that. I do have one here on my channel. But if you want more, then let me know and I can make it. Number 13 is an obvious one, but so often people don't do this, is not packing a lunch and a coffee on the go when you're out and about, because it will be £20 in the cafe just to grab something that you could make at home 5 minutes ahead of leaving and have when you get to wherever you're going. If it's like a trip to the beach or going to the office or wherever you may be going, just it's preparing. And that is the key thing I feel about financial well-being, is being prepared and being organized. Okay, the next one is using credit and not cash. Now I know obviously sometimes you may need to put big purchases on credit card, absolutely, but you're organized and you're prepared and you know what you're doing when you do that, right? Of course you are. But if you are spending the credit on things that you don't need, just try and get into the mindset of, if I cannot afford it, if I need to borrow the money to do this, then you shouldn't buy it. It's as simple as that. And I'm not talking about those essential things that you need to get by, to put the food shopping on. I'm talking about the extra top, the sort of extra thing for the house, something that you don't necessarily need. If you're buying it on credit, then you can't afford it. So don't buy it at all. Number 15 is not tracking your spending. I could talk about this all day, because it's so important to have absolute visibility of what's happening with your accounts, what's coming in, what's going out, what's the non-essentials, what are the things that you can cut back on. Having that finite detail, and I've spoken about it a lot in my budgeting videos, is so important to keep your head above water when it comes to your finances, because you know exactly what's going on and you are not having any nasty surprises when it comes to credit and overdraft fees and things like that. 16 is not building an emergency fund. This is key. This is like 101. You have to have an emergency fund. And yes, you may not be able to get there yet, but these sort of videos will help you get to the point where you can start saving. So I would always say 3 to 6 months, 6 months really, because as I said, 2020, what if you lost your job? What if you got COVID? What if you couldn't afford to pay the bills? having that emergency fund in a easy access account, even something like premium bonds would work for that because it's quick to come out, and it also means that you could win £1 million potentially. But having that money easy access is a great place to put it, so that you know if anything happens, your boiler goes, your car breaks down, your door lock breaks, you know, anything like that, could be so random, that you have the money and it's not going to stress you out and put you into debt to pay for it. Number 17 is not putting fun money into your budget. It's so important for your financial well-being to have money there to spend on the things that make you happy, whether that is holidays, whether that is a trip to a day out, a beach trip, whether that is clothes shopping. Having these treats, going out for a date, going out with your friends is really, really important for your financial well-being, so don't sacrifice that from your budget. Can you hear that rain? It's actually pouring with rain again. Sorry about the lighting, by the way, as well. It's so dark. If you watch, I'm sure most YouTubers are complaining as well about how dark it is because it's dark out there. Okay, 18 we're on is not sleeping on your purchase decisions. Now, you know I'm a big advocate of intentional spending, mindful spending, sleeping on things, 30-day rule. So if you're buying something without actually thinking it through, just take a second, take a breather, sleep on it. Do you still want it the next day? Can you borrow it? Do you already have something similar? Do you really need it? These are the questions to ask yourself before you actually buy something. Is it on sale somewhere better? Is it something that you can wait a little while and then it will go into sale in the winter or the summer? That sort of thing. So sleeping on purchases is so good, such a good money habit, and to quit the impulse purchases is a bad money habit to definitely leave in 2022. 19 is to pay yourself first. It's an oldie but a goldie, and that is things like automate all your bills so that they are done. You don't have to worry about them coming out at the end of the month when you have no money left in the bank. Things that you may well buy early on in the month and then realize at the end you can't afford other things that you need to pay for. That's a bad money habit, not paying yourself first. So I would put across my investment money, my savings, my pension, of course all my bills, and then if I have money left, I can put it into a sinking fund. I can put it into a fund to buy something that I really want to buy, or just spend it on things, but I know I've looked after my future self first. And finally, it's about punishing yourself for bad money decisions. Yes, okay, maybe you bought something you didn't actually need. Move on. Do not let that energy bring you down and realize and think, oh, I've just ruined it. I'm just gonna stop. I'm gonna quit. Because that's even worse. Just accept that you've done it, realize how it makes you feel, use those feelings to not make that decision again the next time. It's as simple as that. So just don't punish yourself if you do make bad money decisions. There we go, guys. 20 bad money habits to keep in 2022 and to move forward into 2023 with some really healthy mindsets and goals for the year ahead. I hope the video was helpful. Let me know in the comments if you want anything similar to this or anything else that you'd like to hear on my channel. Best wishes for the year ahead. I can't wait to have you here with me in this community and hear all about your amazing victories that you get this year. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you so soon. Take care. Bye.